which resulted in the vehicle catching fire big time. So this arsonist has been sentenced to 235 months in prison. That's a lot. 19 years thereabouts. But that was not the only instance of arson this guy perpetrated, according to the release, which states that on, let's see, June the 11th, 2024, he tossed rocks at the Ronald Dunham's Federal Building and the U.S. Courthouse, seeking to shatter a window so he could lob Molotov cocktails in there. So this guy, great dude, huh? This plan was disrupted by protective police services, police officers. And upon fleeing from the officers, he placed the Molotov cocktails in a planter on the side of a building and lit them on fire. And additionally to these two attacks, he set some other fires on the UC Berkeley campus on June the 1st and June the 13th and June the 16th of last year. Man, this guy's got a problem. But at least we're going to be sitting on him for the better part of 2 decades. So, terrorists committed shocking atrocities during these heinous times. And this guy goes right on the list. And this guy cited all kinds of things as inspirations for his own behavior. He said that the attacks were inspired by Hamas's October the 7th, 2023 attack on Israel. And that he called on others to attack property in the Bay Area and get specifically go after college campuses in support of Palestine. So he's all over the place with his thoughts and why he did what he did. You know, and I didn't mean to get this deep into the weeds with it, but I just wanted you to know, and I think it's important, this pro-Hamas California arsonist got slapped with a 19-year prison sentence. Now, something else is kind of very different. The Pentagon is preparing to ask Donald Trump to authorize the execution of Nidal Hassan, the former Army major convicted of carrying out a 2009 mass shooting at Fort Hood. Now you remember. If approved, it would be the first U.S. military execution in more than 6 decades. And the interesting thing about this that just doesn't make any sense, Hassan is a former Army psychiatrist. He killed 13 people, and he wounded 32 others in the attack. He entered the Fort Hood Soldier Readiness Center, armed with a semi-automatic pistol, and opened fire on fellow service members preparing for deployment. Yeah. So he's been imprisoned in the U.S. disciplinary barracks at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. And during his subsequent trial, Hassan admitted to shooting and claimed it was a necessity, and he had to do this to protect the Islamic Empire from American forces. How or why he gets into the American military is still a secret to me. Anybody else who pays attention to this story, and is a psychiatrist to boot. So the Pentagon had characterized the massacre as an act of workplace violence, a decision that drew a lot of sharp criticism from lawmakers and victims' families and national security advocates. But now the Pentagon seeks to get rid of him. Again, to repeat, they're looking for permission, or however it works, with the White House to okay this man's execution, the first in 60 years in the military. And I would say it's time. How about you? Wild, huh? Wild. Steve Hilton is next. KMJ, KMJNow.com, wherever you stream. And we'll be right back.
office closes for good at 4 o'clock. The next closest location is more than 30 miles away in Madera at 1206 Maple Street. There are also several offices in the Fresno area, and you can find directions on the DMV website. The state agency provided no information about when Madera location is shutting down. Valley dairy producers are urged to take part in a national survey. We get the details from KMJ's Ag Director, Don York.
The USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service is getting started for collecting data for the quarterly milk production survey. The information allows the government to accurately measure and report conditions and trends within the U.S. milk industry over the course of a year. And this survey is asking producers to provide the number of milk cows in the herd, the number of cows milked, and the total milk production on the first day of the month. USDA also collects information about milk consumed on the farm and the amount fed to calves. John York, KMJ News.
The closing bell on Wall Street, sponsored by employee-owned FFB Bank. And on Wall Street, the Dow ended down 173 points. The S&P 500 lost 33. NASDAQ dropped 113. Valley weather right now, mostly sunny. It's currently 84 at Radio City. Our high today around 88. We could still see some showers this afternoon into the evening with stronger storms across the high Sierra Mountains. We get down to about 64 overnight. Friday, tomorrow, almost the weekend, a high of 89. The skies are going to clear up more. More sunshine on Saturday, a high around 93, and then cooling a bit Sunday in the upper 80s. And then it's a quiet start for the next week, and we celebrate the first day of October on Wednesday. I'm